Welcome to Fred TV News. I'm Zoe Soto.
And I'm Jasmine Ayafika. Today's newscast surrounds the topic, tell us how you really feel. Whether it's about organic food or video game ratings, our reporters flock to the streets to hear how you felt about various topics. Here are our stories.
The definition of organic food is food naturally grown without any GMOs or additives. I'm Cassie McGrath, here to have an inside look on the true benefits of organic food. One of the greatest benefits of organic food is that it is GMO-free, which means that there are no harmful pesticides used in the process of being grown. GMOs and other additives have shown that they increase the risk of cancer, birth defects, headaches, and vulnerability to pregnant women. Fetuses and children also have an increased risk of weak immune systems.
The organic standards don't allow the use of any kind of chemicals.
The use of pesticides in the growing stages of crops has created pollution from agricultural runoff. Harmful pesticides are washed off by the rain, polluting our water supplies and destroying the value of fertile soil. A study conducted shows that only 0.1% of the pesticides actually target the pest. The other 99.9% is a mix of poisonous contents. Imagine that we are ingesting that in many of the foods that we eat.
It's changed the kind of grocery stores I shop in, although now more of the mainstream grocery stores are including more organic foods. Having an organic farm in our community has been a wonderful way to get the lion's share of my organics. I come here to the Good Earth and participate in their CSA program, and I weekly come and get a great big bag of fresh organic vegetables, and it's a wonderful way to support our local farmers and our local economy.
It is important to understand where food is coming from. Some of the larger farms that provide food to corporate America have farm animals that are genetically modified and made to grow bigger. This allows for greater harvest of meat. This genetically modified meat is not as nutritious for human diets because of the chemicals that are evident in the meat. Animals that live on organic farms and crops that are grown here exist in the environment that is free of chemicals and have all the nutrients needed to support a healthy diet. Remember, next time you're shopping for organic foods, remember to read labels or buy your foods from an organic farm. Now that you know what the true benefits of organic food are, what are you hungry for? I'm Cassidy McGrath, signing off.
Speaking of food, even public schools are trying to offer healthier options in their meals. Take for an example, Whitson's Food, they supply breakfast and lunch at several area high schools, including Durfee High School. Here's Ryan Panu with that story.
Hi, I'm Ryan Pino, and today I'm going to take you behind the scenes of the Durfee cafeteria to show you all the healthy alternatives.
Whitson's Culinary supplies Durfee with lunches for the students to eat, and according to their website, Whitson claims that they want to see the students grow up strong and healthy with a solid education and a world of possibilities at their fingertips.
Describe your daily routine. What kind of preparations do you go through?
We get the dough and we roll the crust, and we put garlic oil and Parmesan cheese, the tomato sauce and cheese on top, and then whatever the special pizzas of the day, I'll put it on when we bring it over. Pepperoni, meat lovers, buffalo chicken. And then to cook it, we just throw it in the conveyor belt and it cooks, and cut it and I serve it.
How do you feel about Durfee's selection of food and variety?
I feel like Durfee has a really wide range of food options, and I feel like I can get something new like every day. So like one day I'll get a burrito, the next I'll get a salad, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
They also state that they are in a unique position to directly affect the health and well-being of the children that they serve by providing healthy choices for lunch.
So today, we discovered a lot of healthy yet delicious choices at BMC Durfee's cafeteria. I'm Ryan Pino, signing off.
Okay, there's more to life than just food. Another hot topic that people have had opinions about recently is the presidential election. This election definitely made history for being the most talked about election in our country's history. Let's take a look back and reminisce about how people felt about the candidates.
Hi, I'm Gabby Paiva here at Durfee High School to get an inside look on how our community feels about this year's presidential election. Let's check it out.
The 2016 election has been one of the most debatable elections in the history of our country. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton bring new things onto the plate. Dating back to 1789, when George Washington was elected, today's candidates for presidency have evolved greatly, and so have the voters' opinions as well.
The issues that are most important to me moving forward is just making sure that everyone maintains like all of their rights, like whether that be women's rights, like in maintaining Planned Parenthood, or like LGBT rights. I would advise Hillary just to make sure that she maintains trying to keep a positive platform and keep like politics moving in a way that it will be like progressive. And my advice to Trump would just to be to try to be a good president, obviously, and try to do things in a way that is gonna like benefit the country rather than just benefit him.
Trump's entertainment status and place in the media, combined with Clinton's experience in politics and previous scandals, have made this election one of the closest in history.
I really think that both candidates should be applauded for, number one, that they're in public service. It takes a lot to actually put your name and your face and your opinions out there in public and then be judged. I think that is a credit to both candidates. I was very indecisive about the election and voting. I wasn't really committed to either candidate right from the beginning, but for me, the referendum questions were important, and I really, quite frankly, was more spontaneous in the voting booth.
So many voters can be biased about who they're voting for. When it comes down to it, it's about the issues and what's best for the country.
Everyone has a different political viewpoint, but only one will be in office. Your vote counts, so remember to vote in the next election and get informed. I'm Gabby Paiva for Fred TV News. Back to you in the studio.
Well, we had an election of our own recently. To everyone's surprise, Durfee High School decided that it was about time to continue the old tradition of voting for the homecoming king and queen. Well, sort of. Actually, students were asked to vote for a candidate and enter their vote into a ballot box. Then a name was drawn out of the box to decide the winners of the homecoming court. So I guess you can say that a candidate with more votes had a larger chance of having their name drawn. Some people agreed with this, while others may not have.
So, there's been a discussion in Durfee High School whether or not homecoming candidates should be voted for or randomly selected. What do you think?
Homecoming is a fall event that many students look forward to. In many ways, homecoming is much like fall prom. Over the years, Durfee students have been accustomed to homecoming king and queen being selected randomly from a group of students that represent Durfee athletics and activities. What they don't know is that many years ago, students were allowed to vote on homecoming king and queen.
As you know, homecoming king and queen are selected randomly. So tell me in one sentence how you feel about that.
Well, I think it's unfair. I think it should be like voted on, I guess.
Every year, seniors who are nominated dress up, gather with friends, and compete for the opportunity to respect their school. Being the king and queen is a responsibility to the student body of the school. Students attend Whites of Westport for homecoming.
Would you rather vote or be randomly selected?
I'd rather vote because I feel like it's more of the student's choice and represents more of what we feel rather than a random selection.
So, since you know a little bit more about how homecoming king and queen are chosen, how do you feel about the selection process? Do you believe it should be chosen or voted for?
So this next story is interesting. It's about social media. Everyone knows what that is, right? Most of us have social media in our lives throughout the day. Some love it, others don't, and others could care less. So is social media beneficial to our lives? Tell us how you feel.
Hey there, I'm Zoe Soto reporting from BMC Durfee High School, here to find out how the student body feels about social media. Did you know that there are just over 3 billion active internet users? This means that over 45% of the world's population use the internet. Topping that, 3.65 billion mobile users actually have access to the internet via their smartphones and tablets, and close to 1.7 billion people have active social media accounts, some of which are on their phones. Do you think phones obstruct education? Why and why not?
Oh yeah, it definitely does. The main reason why is it distracts you. Most things online nowadays is 10-second intervals. So again, you'll be looking at a problem, getting a little confused, and then you'll be like, I'll just watch a 10-second video. Next thing you know, you watch 10 of them, 2 minutes goes by, and you look back up and you have no idea what's going on.
Social media can have both a positive and a negative effect on society. Person-to-person contact and conversation have suffered as the result of increased social media usage. Bullying has also increased and become more widespread over the course of time due to the accessibility of these social media outlets. In addition, people have become more impatient due to social media because everything is instantaneous. How do you think we could change social media to positively change the world?
To be honest with you, I think that we shouldn't use social media because it's just such a negative thing, and the world will be a better place without it.
New learning apps have been beneficial to students learning across the country. Additionally, businesses have thrived with the help of social media. Every social media profile added to the internet becomes another path leading your business to even greater success. Some people may give social media 5 stars and couldn't live without it. How you rate this largely depends on how much you use it. So what about video games? Recently, the maturity ratings for video games and movies are undergone a change. Do you agree with this change, or are these games being distributed to the youth too mature for their minds?
Do you ever wonder how video game ratings are made? Do you know how you feel about video game ratings or movie ratings in this time and age? I'm Nicholas Rachel, and today we're going to find out how people really feel about the video game and movie rating system in our country. ESRB, otherwise known as Entertainment Software Rating Board, is the rating system for video games. It was formed in 1994. This board has gone through many changes since its earlier years, adding new laws and new maturity ratings for the vast amount of games and movies that are on the market.
In the past, if a game was rated M, it would be because of violence and like partial nudity. So I think kids nowadays don't really care about that.
Nowadays, we see a lot of children playing violent video games and viewing more sexual content in movies and television shows. Examples are Game of Thrones and American Horror Story. Even though these shows are meant for mature audiences, they are still accessible to today's youth.
Personally, I don't mind it, but some parents might not want their kids playing certain games because of violence, drug use, sexuality, nudity, stuff like that. So to an extent.
That was some Rated E for Everyone ideas. This is Nicholas Rachel for Fred TV News signing off.
Much like social media and video games, texting while driving is incredibly distracting too. Texting and driving prevents the driver from focusing on what is in front of them. It only takes a second to look down at your phone while driving, but that second is enough to change someone's life forever. Is it really worth the text?
I'm Grace Phipps, here to talk about the real dangers of texting and driving. Remember, no matter how tempting it might be, it just isn't worth it.
Texting while driving can make a car crash 23 times more likely to happen, and according to a recent study, at least 23% of auto collisions involve cell phones. That is equivalent to 1.3 million crashes per year.
As a parent, my concerns about texting and driving is not so much that my daughter or my son would do it, but that others are doing it and putting their lives in harm. We have no control over what other people do, and it only takes an instant for lives to change.
Using a cell phone to read or send text messages delays a driver's reaction time more than the legal limit of alcohol ingestion. For drivers caught texting and driving, there are 3 offenses that range from $100 to $500. Junior operators, along with the fines, receive license suspensions with each offense.
So tell me how you really feel about texting and driving. And the next time you hear your phone go off in the car, just keep driving. Don't pick it up. I'm Grace Phipps.
Now tell us how you really feel about our newscast. Thanks for watching. I'm Jasmine Ayapika.
And I'm Zoe Soto. Catch you later.
Retake again. I messed up.